Good evening, friends, followers, channel members. How are we today? It's midweek Wednesday. Lots of ATC online tonight. We're back in Nice following last night's arrival. Obviously the sun is setting. Live time, live weather. Yeah, I think tonight could be quite a busy flight traffic wise, so that's exciting, something to look forward to. Hope everyone's had a good day, a good week so far. Welcome on board all of you. So far I can see we've got Jez Davis, Dark Fury, Psychotech, Brian McBall, Captain Matt Russell, hello. J-Hog's also on board. David, Frank, WG, Abbott, Jason, Danny Russell as well, and Thimo. Good evening. I'll just call you Tom. Apologies if I have missed anyone. Operational flight planning is pinned in the chat for those of you on YouTube, and of course welcome to our Twitch viewers as well. Yeah, so quite a bit of traffic tonight. Looking forward to this. There's a few caveats as well going into where we're going. We're going to Vienna. Now, I can't remember the last time I flew into Vienna. It's not a main staple destination for Easyjet, so not a real-world flight plan this evening, but nevertheless something a bit different, something nice. Always like flying to places that I'm not too familiar with, as it makes me work a little bit harder. So we're going to go ahead and get on board, and I think our actual departure time is not for about an hour, so obviously we'll try and beat that if we can get the passengers uploaded before then. I should point out one big caveat to tonight's flight. This is a threat like no other. Kids are in bed. I'm hoping they stay that way because I've no cabin crew to assist if they decide to get up and start wandering. So fingers crossed they remain asleep nicely for the next 2 or 3 hours till we get this all done. Right, should we hop on board and look at setting things up? So our aircraft is in the turnaround state. Just have a quick look, see if we can see any other traffic. No, we're parked too far around the corner, but I have seen whilst I was setting up quite a little bit of traffic, so that's going to be quite fun. Let's just check the overhead. That looks all well and good. I'm just going to put the dome lights on lightly, as the sun will no doubt start to drop as we set everything up and get out of here. Quick check. We do have ATC online this evening. God, there's so much. It's wonderful. So we've got ground, which is 1217. We'll tune to that and then transfer that over in a few minutes once we're happy. 1217. There we go. I'll just check we're happy with everything else. Yeah, that looks good. Start getting passengers on board pretty soon. Right, let's check out the latest weather and the ATIS. So let's go to the My Flight app and see what's happening. So we've got information Charlie, and that's landing 04 left, takeoff 04 right. Yeah, that's fine. Wind are let's just check what we've got there. Alpha 1 Bravo 1 Charlie 1 are holding points of an active runway. Wind is 110 degrees 10 knots, so might need a little bit of rudder to keep us on the straight and narrow. Clouds cav okay. Temperature 25 degrees. QNH 1011. 25 degrees at this time of night. That's fantastic. Initial contract, we've got information Charlie. There we go. Lovely. So that's our current ATIS and information for Nice. If we have a quick look at oh, that's that's a lot, isn't it? I'm just going to have a quick look at that and see. We're currently using runway 29. Okay, that's important. We've actually got planned on our operational flight plan tonight to be coming in on runway 29, so that's good. Originally they were using the opposite runway, but the winds are literally about to change, or looking at that they may already have changed, so a little bit of forward reading of the TAF and pre-planning there seems to have worked in our favour. So that's nice. Lots of traffic coming into low as well tonight. I think there's a little bit of a little bit of an event on this evening, so happy to fly into that. Brian, 25.1 thousand subscribers already. We're on our way to 30k. Brian, you never know. As I say, I'm slowly pulling things together now for our 25k. Lots of the giveaways are all in place. I just need to find a day where I can set aside and then make a plan as to what it is we're going to do. Right, that looks fine. We need to have a look now at our operational flight plan, see what we've got. So if you haven't downloaded that, we'll just have a quick look through here together on the EFB. Jens asks, do you always put in an engine out of SID in the second flight plan, or only when it's non-standard? No, you always put it in, Jens, whether it's standard or non-standard. Standard just means that you can fly straight out and you're not going to hit anything. Non-standard means you need to turn, because otherwise you're going to potentially come close to a mountainside. Right, so here's our operational flight plan today. Ignore the cruise flight level, that's SimBrief being SimBrief. We're actually, we're filed on VATSIM to flight level 360 tonight, so that's essentially going to be our cruise altitude, yeah. Danny, no, this is not a real flight. No. You can always tell if it's a real flight or not by my call sign. If I use 34 Alpha Mike, either Alpine or Easyjet or even Top Swiss, 34 Alpha Mike is kind of the channel's call sign, if you like. So if I'm flying 34 Alpha Mike, it's not real. Right, so weather, we've had a look at the weather. Let's just look through and check a couple of other things. So just over 6 tons. Having a quick look through here. I want to jump down to the weather briefing, actually see what's happening at the forecast. Really the only things, there's a small chance of gusts up to 30, thunderstorms and rain, scattered cumulonimbus up to 4,000 feet, broken 5,000. So winds are getting up, but that shouldn't cause us too much of an issue, but the thunderstorms might do, so we're bringing that into our brief. And if we just come and have a look at the SIGMET charts as well, yeah, we can see. So we've even got cumulonimbus on the flight up and the climb, and then back down again. So lots of clouds potentially. All right, so what fuel am I going to go for? Well, when I think about the potential for lots of traffic on VATSIM, maybe some go-arounds due to the winds. We've got potential for thunderstorms as well. I'm going to take an extra 800 kilograms, so I'm going to take 6.8, which overall means we'll probably have about a ton extra. So we're going to go and ask the guys to load 6.8 tons of fuel this evening. Oh, is the overlay not working, Danny? Right, hang on 1 second then. Let me sort that out. Right, hopefully, Danny, that should now be working for you. So now you can see the call sign. It would also be in the operational flight plan as well, Danny, had you downloaded that. Okay, so let's go back to our Fenix page. We'll start getting passengers loaded pretty soon. As you can see, 52 minutes. I'm going to try and get out of here before that, though. Let's get the APU started. 1, 2, 3. There we are. DC Gert, good evening. Panchal, when you need to change the selected star, the McDo, in the McDo, it always changes to heading and track mode. What to do in that? Well, the reason it'll throw you into heading or track mode is because if you tinker around with the operation, with the flight plan in here, the aircraft doesn't know where you want to go. So you need to, you can obviously change it in here and then just go direct to whatever waypoint you need to, and then you can put it back into nav mode. Alright, so let's go through, start setting everything up then. We have got the APU up and running. Let's go and have a look at the box. So onto our data page, we've got 3 nav green, air cycle and engines are all correct, so I can live with that. Let's come to our init page and request the ACARs. Danny, you thought of looking at the OFP as well, but it was too late. Fair enough. Right, well, here's another way we can find out. Our flight number today is Alpine 34 Alpha Mike. There we go. What's our cost index tonight? It's a cost index of 4. Cruise flight level, as I said, we're going to be going flight level 360. The tropo is 38481. Wind request. While I'm waiting for those wind requests, the APU should be up and running. Let's get that APU bleed started. And we can check our IRS alignment. Grab the charts for this and find the right chart for our parking stand coordinates. Where are we? We're at stand 52 Alpha. 43.39.5, 7.12.4 East. Close enough. Right, onto our flight plan. So we're expecting 04 right. That's going to be the VATSIM 7 Alpha. Just check I get the right one here. VATSIM 7 Alpha. And insert. And then at the other end, arrival ILS 29. The star is the Abtan 1 Whiskey, first one, and then we should have a transition or a veer. Oh, it's a veer. That's fine, and it's going to be the charts load from Ballard. Oh, that chart's not loading. Why's that chart not loading? There we go. Ballard for Mike. And insert. OFP is 518 miles. I've got 541 just there, so we'll have a little look at that in a minute, see if there's anything amiss. Danny, we do have the gear simulation scenery for Vienna, so we'll check that out this evening as well. Alright, so happy with that. Let me just go ahead to check the coding for the departure. 420 feet and intercept. We're then going to Mike 149, Usano, Tivno, Bassett. Very good. Alright, onto the RadNav page. A couple of things we can use here. Let's we might need to just find the arrival. So the Charlie Golf Sierra, we'll pop that in there. Just hard tune that. Onto it B page. Right, passengers can start to get loaded now, I think.
Cabin crew, we're all happy with the happenings that are up here, so now open the doors and start letting our passengers on board. Thank you. No problem.
145 passengers, load the aircraft, and we've requested 6.8 tons of fuel. Okay, so if we've got the preliminary load sheet, we can use that. If not, we'll use the OFP. So come to our ATSU, AOC, receive messages. We haven't got anything yet, so let's go with the OFP. So we've got 57.7. Just pop in a standard CFG for the time being. Alternate fuel is, let's call that 1.4 tons. And fuel planning will hopefully below 6.8. 6.1. There we go. So takeoff weight then is 64.3. Now over to the performance page. Let's go a little bit closer, shall we? So let's select runway 04 right, surface is dry. Config 1, no need to force toga, anti-ice off packs will be off. That takeoff weight was 64.3. And we haven't got our CFG for the takeoff weight yet, so we'll pop that in at 30. We may need to redo this. We'll wait and see. The preliminary load sheet comes through soon, I'm sure. Check intersection data. What options do we have here in Nice? So we've got Bravo 3, Alpha 3. What options have we got in here? Oh, we'll plan for Bravo 3, then we can take any of them. Alright, let's get that in the box for the time being. 130, 140, 140. That's easy to remember. Hang on. 130, 140, 140. Transition altitude 5,000 feet, and thrust production and acceleration values. Let me just see if these are correct. Will SimSmart give us these? Ignored, of course, all the performance data. I'm just literally throwing anything in just to get this information filled out. Because this is a performance calculator for the Neo, but it gives me the information I need. So, thrust reduction, acceleration is 1,010 feet, 1,010 feet. Engine out is also 1,010 feet. And we've got an engine out procedure as well, so I'll come to that in a moment. So that's all correct. It's going to be flaps 1, and the flex was 61. Alright, onto the secondary flight plan. This is where we'll set up the engine out procedure. So we'll just copy the active. Now, what is the engine out procedure here? So it's non-standard. That would make sense because there's terrain at the end of this this runway. So Alpha Zulu Romeo 1 mile, turn right, heading 148 to intercept and follow the Alpha Zulu Radial 117 outbound to Neres and hold at Neres. Now this actually is very similar to the actual SID that we've got. So what we could do is, once we've got above 420 feet, we need to turn right heading 148, intercept and follow the Alpha Zulu Romeo Radial 117 outbound. Now, where is the Alpha Zulu Romeo? In fact, the easiest thing to do here would be to find the approach here. Where is the Alpha Zulu Romeo? Isn't it? It's up here somewhere, I think. Finish approach C page 110. Is it on here? Ah, yes, there it is. So basically, we need to turn right, intercept the Alpha Zulu Romeo Radial 117 outbound, and then we basically fly to Neres. So, how to quickly build up a picture of that? We'll pop in Alpha. We need a place bearing distance. So if we, let me see, it may just be better to keep this simple. We will fly the initial departure and then I'm going to pop in Neres. Just keep it simple. Enter the hold. The hold is 297 and the hold there is right turns. From Neres we'll look at coming back. And if something's gone really wrong, I will also request the ILS for 04 left. Again, keep it simple. Alright, let me see what that looks like as a picture. Yeah, that actually works. Yeah, so there we go. Right hand turn, get to Neres, enter the hold. Alright, happy with that. Good stuff. Right, apologies I've not been keeping up with the chat too much while setting everything up, but as always we'll have time to chat a little bit in the air. Let's look at doing a briefing then, shall we? So, the weather here at Nice is nice, no pun intended. We've got great visibility. We've also got oh, wrong one. We've got great visibility. We haven't got any winds that really concern us either. Our takeoff weight is going to be 64.3, which is just below the maximum landing weight. So getting back in here wouldn't be a problem. The en route weathers we spoke about. We've got basically isolated cumulonimbus clouds, so we may need to obviously reroute around those. We've got an arrival chance as well of some thunderstorms coming in at Vienna, but again, it's only a low probability. Shouldn't be too bad, but worth just remembering that that is a possibility. The aircraft we've got, of course, is a A320, fully serviceable with the exception of the weather radar, and I've said before that would be really handy when we've got weather conditions like we have today. Performance of the aircraft is or should be very good. In fact, it's very efficient. Doesn't burn fuel as well as much as the real aircraft. So we'll probably end up slightly heavier on landing than on the operational flight plan. Well, we will end up heavy because we've uploaded extra fuel. No NOTAMs to be aware of. Threats regarding our airport. Well, we know we've got terrain to the north. We've got terrain right at the end of the runway as well. So yeah, north, east, and behind us, west of us, we've got the Alps. So terrain is the main threat regarding our departure today. Traffic, there's a little bit of traffic around. We've got ATC as well, so obviously need to keep eyes on that and ears on ATC. I'm not too unfamiliar with departing here at Nice, so taxiing shouldn't be too much of an issue. We do have ATC. There's no threats regarding any sort of ice or anything like that. Wrong time of weather for this, and it's obviously not too warm, so we're all good with that. Velox, thank you so much for your £5 super chat. Says hello, hope you're well. How you finding the new PC? Velox, it's fantastic. It seems to be doing well, and we can get in and out of Gatwick, which is a big plus point. Alright, let's brief the taxi. So we are parked where? We're parked at stand 52 Alpha, which is basically down here. Yeah, there it is. 52 so we're going to push back. I'll expect us to push back facing facing north, and then I imagine they will take us Tango Charlie, crossing the active at Charlie 1. They could cross us at Bravo 1, but I doubt it. So I'll expect Charlie 1, maybe Bravo 1, and then on to Whiskey. We'll tell them as well that we can take Bravo 3 if we need to, so we've planned for an intersection departure. Holding points, we can use the main holding points. They're obviously not in low visibility procedures, so we don't need to hold at the Cat 2 and 3 holding points. Single engine taxi, not today. It's a pretty short taxi, so no real reason for that. On the SID then, the very important, once we reach 420 feet, it's going to be a right hand turn, noise abatement to departure. Our initial climb out today then is going to be flight level 100 for jets, and we also have a max speed restriction as well of 210 knots. Let's just have a look at what our performance page is for that. 210 knots, so we should probably fly that at flaps 1 till we've passed it. So I'm going to pre-select S speed, which is 190, and set. Also set the initial climb that we've just spoke about, which is flight level 100 to 10,000 feet is there as well. Transition level is 5,000 feet. So let's do an emergency brief then. So it is a non-standard engine out procedure here. Our takeoff weight for coming back in isn't going to be a concern because we're below the maximum landing weight. Depending on what the options are, once we get to the nearest holding point, then we will obviously decide if we're going to come back in and or continue or divert. If I did have to come back in at Nice and we had a real problem, I'd ask ATC if we could make the ILS approach as well. It's just a lot easier. If we do have to enter our hold, I'm going to get up to a safe altitude. We'll get up to 4,000 feet as a minimum, 4,000 feet into the hold. That way we're above MSA. If we then have a look at an arrival coming in for Neraz, has that got that might not have a hold shown on it. Oh, this one does. Hang on. What have we got? Have we got any information regarding that hold? Doesn't seem to have any information on that hold with regards to a minimum hold. But yeah, 4,000 feet into the hold would be okay. Leaving 3,000 feet, that's what that max refers to. So there we go. All right, I think that's about it then. How are we doing with the passengers? "90 passengers. Plenty of time to go." Is refueling completed? Indeed it has. APU's up and running, so we're under our own power. We'll close the external power off. No longer need the GPU. Seatbelt signs can come on as well. And whilst I remember, let's go ahead and tell that GPU you're no longer needed and remove the chocks and cones. Valk says you had that super chat for free. You have no idea why, but can give £5 to anyone on YouTube for free as a one-time thing. Really? That's strange. Maybe YouTube were rewarding you for all the hours you spent watching their adverts. That is interesting. Right, well, let me double check to see if ATC is still around. 1217, yes indeed, ground is still around. So I'm going to just check what latest information we're on. We're now on information Delta. Check the QNH hasn't changed. Yeah, still 1011. Alright, I'm going to contact ATC then on 1217.
World Express 412, contact Nice approach on 134.475. Have a nice flight to your destination. Goodbye.
Victoria, we contact Nice approach 134.475, World Express 412. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Nice ground, good evening, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike stand 52 Alpha Type A320 requesting IFR closest file to Vienna, and we have information Delta.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, Nice ground, bonsoir. You are clear to Vienna via the Basic 7 Alpha departure, runway 04 right, initial climb, flight level 100 and squawk 1000.
Cleared via departure runway 04 right, BASIP 7 Alpha, initial climb, flight level 100, squawk 1000, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, read back correct, report ready for push and start.
Wilco 34 Alpha Mike. And everything is as we'd briefed, so I'll set that squawk 1000, and we've got 10,000 feet set.
French Baguette 06 Charlie, les frites sont prêtes, les choses dans le cockpit, nous sommes prêts à partir.
French Baguette 06 Charlie, c'est bien reçu. Est-ce que vous pouvez faire un 180 pour commencer votre roulage via Tango?
Oui, pas de souci. Est-ce qu'on peut empiéter un tout petit peu sur uniforme pour le faire, French Baguette 06 Charlie?
French Baguette 06 Charlie, vous pouvez répéter s'il vous plaît?
Pour faire 180 pour Tango, est-ce qu'on peut empiéter un tout petit peu sur l'uniforme devant nous?
Oui, bien sûr, il n'y a pas de problème.
Alright, so that load sheet has now come through. Let me just flip ATC off for a moment. The preliminary load sheet has just come through, so let's see, that's 0 fuel weight 57.7, 0 fuel weight CFG 31.7, and takeoff weight of 30.1. That's alright, we ran it at 30, so that's well within limits. Trini says you've got to love that French accent. It just adds to the immersion, doesn't it, VATSIM? Wherever you're flying in the world, if you have local ATC, it's really nice. I'll tell you what I didn't do. Update the ground temperature. There we go. Right, well, let's run the before start checklist to the line. So our cockpit preparation is completed, signs on and auto. Ideas, we have 3 nav green, fuel quantity is 6770 kilograms, balanced, FMGS is set, and altimeter is 101,120 feet. Danny says the French language sounds so beautiful, but I can't understand a word of it. Well, I suppose you could if you're French. I don't understand a word of it either. Doesn't that look nice? Going to make for a gorgeous takeoff out of Nice pretty soon. Flight time today is 1 hour and 20 minutes. Once we've got everybody on board. If we look out the other window, can we see anyone coming into land? Got an aircraft taxiing out for departure. Can't see any aircraft coming in this evening. Just coming back through the chat now, people having issues with the engine mode selector. Yes, whenever you use the right mouse button to pan around, it knocks it back into normal instead of ignition, doesn't it? And it stops your engine from starting, which is rubbish. Jens, when the engine outset is standard, it's usually standard, as I say, when there's no terrain that you're going to hit. Standard just means just fly straight until you get to above a nice safe altitude, and you've secured your engine, and then you can go off to your holding point. So while we're waiting for those last few passengers to get on board, welcome to everyone who's just joined us. We've done our departure brief, we know where we're going, we know where we expect to go, we know where we're going to go if something goes wrong. Just waiting for the last few stragglers of the passengers to get on board, and then we'll get ready to go. Wonder how busy it will be coming into Vienna this evening. Should be good fun. Since we've upgraded the PC, I do feel a lot more confident in flying in sort of VATSIM events and things like that with the extra traffic, because I feel the PC can handle it. Silent HD. Takeoff performance has been done based on the preliminary load sheet. I'm just waiting for the final load sheet as well to check with that. When we first did it, we didn't have the preliminary load sheet, so we used the OFP. We then got the preliminary load sheet. We just updated zero fuel weight in it B. So yeah, just waiting to see how we get on with that. I could, as it would probably be the right thing to do. There was one minor difference. If I just come to this, the minor difference there was is the takeoff weight was actually 30.1 on the preliminary load sheet. Do we think that would change anything? 130, 140, 140, 61. No, that's good. HD, you did the perf before the preliminary load sheet. How did you know what takeaway CFG to use? I did guess at 30, and I have just updated it. It was 0.1% out. Just rerun it, and thankfully it hasn't changed anything. Of course, when the final one comes through, I mean, that is a good point. When the final one comes through, if it's within the sort of 30% that I guessed at, would we consider that still valid?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board our Easyjet service. Please place your large bags into the overhead locker, wheels first, and keep your small items under the seat in front of you. These include laptops, handbags, duty-free and loose items of clothing. Once you have safely stowed your cabin bag, please take your seat. To help us ensure a prompt departure, we would kindly ask that you keep the aisle clear, enabling all remaining customers to board. Your seatbelt can now be fastened ready for departure. This is a no-smoking service. Thank you for observing this policy.
Thanks a lot.
I'm guessing, well, I'm not guessing, I know you would wait until you'd at least got your preliminary load sheet before you did your perf. I did just kind of, for the sake of the sim, just pop in a guesstimated takeoff CFG, and to be fair, it wasn't far out, but I would have always compared it to the actual. When that comes through, not actually sure. Let's get the ground crew in place, and just going to take a note. Departure is also online. 134475. Going to need that once we're taxiing. How long is it until technically we're meant to push? 22 minutes, so I'm not hanging around that long. We're all ready to go. All the doors and things are closed, looking at that. All the ground crew are out of the way, so that is good. Oh, company message. Could that be our final load sheet? Huzzah! Right, so our takeoff weight is 64.1. That's a couple hundred kilograms. Less than we'd planned, so that's okay. And takeoff weight CFG is 29.2. So fuel weight is 31. We're all good, we're all valid, I think. 31.7, 31. Wonderful. Danny asks HD, would you expect a 200 kilogram difference? Well, if some passengers and their luggage are not on board, yeah, why not? Right, ground crew is in place, ready to go. I think. Have we got a tug? There you go. Couldn't see him. Right, let's flip back over then to the ATC, and we'll request our push and start.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of myself, the first officer, and the cabin crew, may I welcome you on board this Easyjet aircraft for your flight today. The ground crew and the fueling crew have all finished.
Après de la gage dans Charlie, on se dira si on voit des frites voler pendant le vol, ça risque d'être
The
rigolo.
crew are making their final checks as they
French Baggage aussi Charlie, c'est bien reçu, mais j'espère que vous serez là avec l'approche à ce moment-là.
comfortably with your seatbelts securely fastened and give them their full attention as they begin their
So that's East Ground and the departure also tuned for the standby.
members, who of course are welcome to free complimentary drinks throughout the flight. Once we reach our cruising altitude,
Alpine 161 ready to taxi.
the cabin crew
Alpine 161 taxi holding point runway 04 left via Charlie and Charlie 1.
once again, I'd like to thank you.
Holding point Charlie 1 via Charlie for 04 left Alpine 161.
Ground Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, stand 52 Alpha, we're ready for push and start.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, push and start approach facing northeast.
Push and start approved facing northeast, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike.
Cabin crew, we're about ready for flight, so if you could please arm the door there and cross-check. Thank you.
Nose steering is disconnected, acupressure is in the green. Let's go. Before start checklist below the line, windows and doors, closed and armed, beacon light is on, phone is on silent, parking brake is on. Let's tell the ground crew, release the parking brakes. Let's go. Engine mode selected to ignition, starting engine 1.
Alpine 161, contact Nice approach 134.475. Enjoy your flight to Palma, goodbye.
It's gone dark quickly, hasn't it?
With approach on 134.475 Alpine 161. Thank you et merci.
Bon vol et bonne soirée, merci.
Merci beaucoup.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask for your attention while we take you through the safety procedures on this aircraft. A safety card is in your seat pocket, showing the exit routes, oxygen masks, life jackets, and brace position that you must adopt if you hear brace, brace. There are 2 emergency exits at the rear, 4 in the middle, and 2 at the front of the cabin. Floor lighting will guide you to an exit. Please be aware that your nearest exit may be behind you. In an emergency, leave all cabin baggage on board. Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted, and released as shown. It
Starting
must be
engine 2.
fastened when the seatbelt signs are on, and we recommend that you keep it fastened at all times. If the air supply fails, masks will drop from above you. Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen. Put the mask over your nose and mouth. Hold in place with the strap. Pull on each side to adjust. Put on your own mask before helping others. If we land on water, take the life jacket from under your seat. Put it over your head. Pass the tapes around your waist. Click together and pull the strap to adjust. Do not inflate it inside the aircraft. When outside, inflate by pulling the toggle. If it fails to inflate or needs topping up, blow into the tube. There is a light and whistle for attracting attention. We also carry flotation aids for children.
French Baggage 06 Charlie, vous pouvez continuer le roulage à gauche sur Charlie pour Charlie Unité.
Window blinds open.
Ah, gauche sur Charlie pour Charlie Unité. Le gros 320 devant moi, je ne sais quoi.
Bah, vous tournez à gauche juste avant sur Charlie.
Pushback is complete, engine number 2 is stable. Parking brake set.
Non, ne vous inquiétez pas, ça va bien se passer.
Je me suis juste, il doit faire 4 fois ma taille, c'est pour ça, 5 baguettes dans ce chat.
French Baguette aussi Charlie, c'est bien reçu. Et contactez Nice Approche, 134, décimale 475. Bon vol et amusez-vous bien, bonne soirée.
Merci, French Baguette dans ce chat. Vous êtes là jusqu'à quelle heure pour savoir si on vous laisse des frites dans le cockpit?
Alors, moi je vais fermer d'ici 15 minutes, mais
We'll do a
apparemment,
flight
il y a quelqu'un
control
qui va
check
reprendre la
whilst we're
tour.
sat here waiting for
Donc,
ATC
vous serez
to
pas tout
finish
seul.
their French conversation.
Ça marche,
Full
merci
left,
beaucoup, bonne soirée en tout cas, et merci pour le
full
contrôle.
right,
Merci, bonne soirée.
neutral, full up, full down, neutral rudder, full right, rudder, full left, neutral. After start checklist. Anti-ice is off, ecom status checked. Pitch trim is 29.2, rudder is 0. Right, let me just quickly pull up my ground charts and then we'll get our taxi clearance. And we'll advise them we can take Bravo 3. Ground Alpine 34 Alpha Mike is ready for taxi and we can take intersection Bravo 3 if required.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, Roger, thank you. Taxi to holding point, runway 04 left via right on Charlie and Charlie 1.
Right on Charlie, and do you wish us to hold at Charlie 1 for Alpine 34 Alpha Mike?
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, yep, hold Charlie 1.
Hold at Charlie 1, thanks Alpine 34 Alpha Mike. HD shouldn't be 04 left, should be 04 right. We've got BASIP 7 Alpha departure. When you say stuff like that, you concern me. Hey, Christian. And ground, just confirm it's 04 right for departure. Alpine 34 Alpha Mike.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, yes, departure runway will be 04 right, but 04 left is an active runway, so you will have to get authorization to cross.
That's fine, we just had 04 left from you a moment ago. Alpine 34 Alpha Mike.
No worries.
Just going very quiet because I can hear one of the kids. How do you explain that to VATSIM? I mean, they're 2 floors up, so they can't hear me, but the last thing I want them to do is wake up. The cabin crew's not home.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, contact Nice Approach on 134 decimal 475. Enjoy your flight to Vienna. Goodbye.
134475 Alpine 34 Alpha Mike. Bye bye.
Defined climb level 140.
140 for Alpine 161.
Nice Approach. Good evening, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike approaching Charlie 1.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, good evening. Hold short up 110 left at Charlie 1.
Hold short 04 left Charlie 1, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike.
F1 10 November Hotel, direct Bispo, Bravo India, Sierra Bravo Oscar.
Okay, quick pets check. No change to the performance. QNH 1011 flex. Engine out procedure is non-standard. Right-hand turn. And after departure, pretty much following the SID, then we're going to hold at near as. Departure is VATSIM 7 Alpha, and our initial climb is flight level 100.
Alpine 161, direct Resbo.
Direct Resbo, Alpine 161.
F10 November Hotel, decent altitude 3000.
This holding point looks quite far away from the runway, doesn't it?
Je vois que 06 Charlie, je vais avoir 2 arrivées IFR encore et ça sera votre tour après.
Pas de souci, on a des frites pour attendre. Merci, Fred Baguette 06 Charlie.
Transport 06 Mike November, contact ground 121.7, bye bye.
Can't see anything else on file, so I expect...
Mike November, la tour, le sol 121.7, au revoir.
I expect our clearance to cross in a second. Virgin Atlantic, I'm sure that's not the reason it became known as Vasux. Although if it is, that's gold.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike via Charlie 1, cross runway 04 left.
Cross 04 left, right, Charlie 1, Alpha 34 Alpha Mike.
Efforts 10 November Hotel, cleared RNP Alpha approach, runway 04 left, number 2. Reduce speed 180 knots. Alpine 161, contact Eurocontrol on 135.1.
Okay, flight control has been checked, departure briefing is confirmed, flight setting config 1, FMA takeoff data is 130 blue, 140 magenta, climb up blue, 152, 10,000 blue, flex 61.
French Baguette 06 Charlie, contactez la tour 118.7, au revoir.
118.7, merci, Fred Baguette 06 Charlie.
Transponder is set, ECAM memo, takeoff, no blue, EFB. Stowed.
Fenix 4277, the wind 090 degrees at 7 knots, runway 04 left, cleared to land.
Cleared around runway 04 left, Fenix 4277.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, continue taxi via Whiskey to holding point Whiskey 3, runway 04 right.
Continue taxi, hold Whiskey 3 for 04 right, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike. Oh, we didn't get the intersection departure, never mind.
F10 November Hotel, contact Tower 118.7, bye bye.
Cabin crew,
And Alpine 34 Alpha Mike for departure, contact Tower 118.7, goodbye.
Over to Tower 187, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, bye bye. Now I'm just going to cheat a little bit here. 118.7, and that's the departure frequency, so I imagine we'll be speaking to him again in a moment. Tower Alpine 34 Alpha Mike on frequency.
Station calling, stand by, we'll call you back in 2 minutes.
Roger, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike. Judy, thank you so much for the $6.07 tip on about 4 or 5 minutes ago. Apologies that I missed that when that came through. Thank you, Judy. That's yeah, that's very much appreciated, very kind of you. Hopefully we'll give you a nice flight tonight with only one attempted landing.
France 10.
FedEx
France
coming in.
17 Novembre
Looks good.
Hôtel de Nice Tour, bonsoir, continue approche numéro 2. Alpine 3-4 Alpha Mike, Nice Tower, bonsoir, via Whiskey 3, runway 04 right, elevate.
Line up and wait for Whiskey 3, runway 04 right. Easy 34 Alpha Mike. Alpine 34 Alpha Mike.
Et Nice Tour, bonsoir, passez votre message.
Nous t'attendons, tout simplement, après la 14 Charlie.
06 Charlie, quelles sont vos attentions?
Voler au nord vers Monaco.
06 Charlie, c'est reçu, prévoyez une sortie novembre, bravo, novembre Alpha.
Bien noté, novembre Papa Alpha, merci, Fenix 14 Charlie.
Alpine 3-4 Alpha Mike, wind 90 degrees, 7 knots, runway 04 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear to take off, runway 04 right, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike. Okay, wind is from the right, engine 2 is critical.
Derrière la France avant au départ, piste 04, droite à ligne, attendez derrière.
For takeoff, checklist below the line, cabin is secured for takeoff, engine mode select is normal, TCAS RA packs. Forgot the packs, get the packs off. Packs.
Fabrique 06 Charlie, ça sera
Off,
des tours en
anti-ice
circuit main droite, puis une verticale terrain pour rejoindre le nord.
Ça marche, du coup,
Take
là,
off.
pour main droite, en vertical terrain, du coup, pour rejoindre...
Where's the chrono click point
Pour
gone?
rejoindre, du coup,
Start the
ND,
chrono.
Fenix 14 Charlie.
50% in one.
Fenix 14 Charlie.
Stable, set
Quelle
takeoff
altitude vous
thrust.
arrange pour vertical terrain?
Man flex.
1500.
SRS.
1500 pour l'activité terrain, merci, Fenix 14 Charlie.
Checked. V1. Rotate. Nav.
Air France 10, novembre hôtel, vent 90 degrés 7 nœuds, piste 04 gauche, autorisé atterrissage. Alpine 3-4 Alpha Mike, contact Nice, approach 134.475, bye bye.
134475 Alpine 35 Mike, bye bye. Thrust climb, climb. Needs approach Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, passing 2000 for flight level 100, VATSIM 7 Alpha departure.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, good evening again, identified, climb level 100.
Climb flight level 100 Alpine 34 Alpha Mike. So speed constraint holds us till Mike November 149, which is just here.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, direct to Uzano.
Direct to Zano, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike. And goes the speed restriction. And flap 0 spoilers disarmed. There we go.
Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, climb level 140.
Climb flight level 140, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike. 140 blue. We've avoided the terrain. Yippee! One of these kids is going to wake up and ruin everything. I never normally stream if I'm in my house on my own with the kids, but I thought, you know what, they never get up. Famous last words. So I'm going to put those lights on just so I can see where my click spots are.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Plane 34 Alpha Mike, no further ATC available, so can you change approach, bye.
we recommend that you keep your
Overdue to
seatbelt
contact from the
fastened
service
whenever
Alpine
you are
34 Alpha
seated.
Mike. Bye bye.
Toilets are located at each end of the cabin. Remember that smoking is not permitted at any time. This includes e-cigarettes.
Unicom it is. Right, well we didn't ding the cabin, but I'm happy to just release everybody at the same time now as we passed 10,000 feet. Flight level 360 is it's even our optimum tonight, so let's go ahead and select flight level 360 blue, and we'll clear the radnav page out as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has now turned off the seatbelt sign and you are now free to move around the cabin. We do recommend, however, when in your seat, that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times in case of unexpected turbulence. The toilets are now available. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
So our route tonight, I think, takes us over the coast for a little bit and then we turn inbound over the land for Vienna. Have a quick look on the charts if we can sync those up. Yeah, there we go. So it'll be Genoa where we meet the land. Hey Tom, sky's the limit. Where are you? Just going to show HD this, 1 second. Right, we'll get up to cruise and then we'll have a look at the arrival. So what you can't see is, oh my god, she's moving. What you can't see is next to me in in real life where I am. Whereabouts the tablet is over here on the desk is pretty much where I've got a baby monitor, and I keep seeing movement and hearing noise. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that concerns me. What would my company message be? I wasn't late. What? Okay, well, whilst based on truth, is everybody else getting these messages on in the Phoenix, or is it just me? I don't think that was from Phoenix, Phoenix Ops or from Easyjet Ops. Tom, you're still living the dream in my alley. Got the LST on the 5th, and then home for the weekend. Another month of Sims to look forward to. Sounds good. Right, flight time tonight was 1 hour 20 minutes, so we should be on the ground around an hour and 10, depending on, of course, the traffic in Vienna. Quick look says that yeah, we do still have ATC online, which is good. Not sure how long that lasts for. And Jayhog has super chatted £10. Jayhog, has my aunt just commandeered your PC? For those that don't know, Jayhog is my uncle. Oh, thanks, Jayhog. I really appreciate that. I have a feeling that your wife has to be behind that. You're not that generous. Either that or you've been drinking. Either way, I will take it. Or Jayhog, you've decided you're starting a babysitter fund. Yeah, well, what's the going rate these days for babysitting triplets? Who knows? I don't. I mean, you've got to get some sort of deal, right? Christian says, wouldn't it be easy just to give him the donation directly? Yeah, the problem is we never actually see each other. We live 20 minutes away, but lives are just that chaotic. Jayhawk says that's 24 cans of dark fruit. Oh, I see where you're going with the babysitter idea. That's well, that's 1 can each for the kids for 6 days. Jason, you have triplets. Wow, yes, we do. That's what I say on the baby monitor. I'm just watching 3 girls hopefully not wake up. Right, about 10,000 feet to go and we'll be at the top of climb. Emilio says there's no donation alerts on real life. Well, no, but the airline do get paid. TG320, thanks for following on Twitch. Danny, you're secretly hoping for a Friday night, you mean Wednesday night quiz. Oh, I'm sure HD won't disappoint. He's always got something he can throw at us. It's quite a scenic route, this. Very, well, much more scenic during the daytime. But obviously you've got a nice view of the coast all the way up, and then we head out over the Alps. Interesting. Let me just check something. Ah, it's not in the database, it doesn't store it. That's a shame. So about 30 minutes into our flight tonight, we head over the area where the moors are above 10,000 feet. So have our escape plan ready. VM, right, HD says, what's the maximum allowed altimeter readings between both primary flight displays? Ooh, that's a question. Dark Fury, I didn't know you could Google that fast. Google gave you the result in meters. $6,000 to go. Is there a difference in readings? Is there a limit? I'm not sure. There might be. But then, wouldn't that depend on what you can set the altimeter to difference-wise? Let's take a guess. If you can only set, let's say your QNH, you can go 75 feet as an answer for part of it. Well, I was going to say, is there a limit to how much of a difference you can set your QNH on the pilot side and the pilot flying side? On the first officer side and the captain side. HD says I'm thinking too much. I'm rarely accused of that. Berlin 24/7 on Twitch asked if I've seen issues with the throttle calibration. I haven't got any issues. So I can only suggest try and watch some of the great tutorials that are around on YouTube, and hopefully that will help people out that have got them, because the Fenix was probably easier for me to set up than it was the fly-by-wire. You're going to have to put us out of his misery there, HD. The difference on the primary flight displays, honestly, would not know. I don't think anyone else in the chat would either. GD says, I was at a friend's house last week. His daughter, just 5 years old, walked into the room, asked him a question. He was about to say no when she said, "You are a man, do as you are told," then smiled. Don't tell me stories like that when I've got 3 girls approaching 4 and 5 years old. H says the maximum difference between the primary flight displays is 20 feet. That's low, isn't it? I suppose that's a good thing. Max difference between the primary flight displays and the ISIS is 100 feet. Max difference between the primary flight displays and the airport elevation is 75 feet. Does it trigger an ECAM warning then if they're misaligned? Obviously, you know if your altimeters are set incorrectly. We've seen ECAM warnings get triggered here in the Fenix. Right, 1,000 feet to go. Mac Alt Star. And I'll cruise. Right. Are we fully over land at the minute? Let me just turn those. I'm going to turn the lights down because you get much nicer views. Let me just. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Don't do that. Cabin settings. Turn that off. There we go. There we are. Yep, most certainly over land now. We've left the Mediterranean behind. That's nice. Right, we're now at our cruising altitude.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck once again, just to let you know that we've reached our cruising altitude for today and we are not anticipating any major delays or bad weather ahead, so we should be arriving on time as planned. The cabin crew will now start to make their way around the aircraft, so please make sure that the aisles are clear of any items you may have, and I invite you to sit back, relax and enjoy the flight. A reminder that our Easyjet Sim Pilot members are able to take advantage of free drinks throughout the duration of the flight. Thank you, and we shall have an update for you shortly.
In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase a selection of hot beverages together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated, and if we can be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Right, we'll do the top climb checks and then we'll get on with having a look at our arrival. No fuel leak. Quite warm in the cabin, that, isn't it? 24 degrees. Is anyone a bit too warm? Want me to turn that down? Do a fuel check as well. At Robas. Let's have a look. Robas, 23 minutes, that looks good, and then when we get there we should have around 5 tons of fuel. Oh, well that's looking very good. Okay, HD, now you've got your cost index in there. Give me credit. At least I remember to drop it down for the climb. How much difference is there between 0 and 4? Christian says cost index is now the new QNH. Yeah, we've put that one to bed a long time ago. It makes sort of all difference, but it gives us something more to do. Right, let's go through our flight plans, see what we've got for the arrival. So, Abtam 1 Whiskey, Ballad 4 Mike. So Abtan, 410, Nixian Ballad. And then we're on the Ballad 4 mic transition. Which is one of those wonderful wonderful approaches where we could end up getting a shortcut. So, Ballard 6456535251. Ballard 645654535251. And then we're on our ILS. Good. So all the coding is correct. That we can see. Just check and have a look to see if we've got any arrival information with regards to speeds. That's Nice. Nothing obvious in there, is there? So in that case, at Whiskey 951, let's just see what speeds it got us down to there. They actually look pretty darn good, so probably don't need to go in and give it any more information than that, to be honest. Yeah, at 7 miles out, 173. That looks really good. Lovely, and we've got 3,000 feet as well. At that point, is that bang on? Indeed it is. Right, happy with all of that. And again, just in case we do get the option of a slight shortcut, let's pop in our runway threshold. It's runway 29, isn't it? Go. So look at our RadNav page. We've got the Fox Mike Delta to help us with a bit of SA. Fill that out in a moment once we've got a little bit closer and got the latest METAR information. Thrust reduction acceleration values, they look good actually. Airport elevation is 600 feet, so that's alright. Predicted to have 3.5 tons of fuel on board once we arrive there, so in the case of a go around, that's enough to complete the go around into the hole and have another go. At the moment I've got a secondary flight plan copied from the active. Good, okie dokies. Let's just go ahead and get the latest weather then and fill in that performance page. Runway 29 is indeed in use. Wind is 310 at 12 knots. QNH 1011. Temperature 25. That's warm for this time of night. Wonder how warm it's been there during the day today. And just have a look at the clouds and visibility. The visibility is more than 10 kilometers, so that gives us minimum descent altitude of 800. So VAP is 135. Quick look at the star then. This is pretty straightforward. constraints are all in, they're all coded nicely. Bit of terrain coming in as well, so I just need to monitor that. But the constraints are there anyway that avoid the terrain, so that's fine. Same here as well. Just have a look at the approach page, see what we've got for this. And I just want to have a look as well at the runway information. Runway 29. 45 meters wide runway. Okay, so that's standard. And we can expect to see all the lights there as well. Glide slope is normal 3 degrees. And where would we expect to vacate? Runway 29, medium jet, Alpha 7. Where's that? So that is the first rapid exit taxiway that we come to, Alpha 7. I'll try and make that then. If not, it's going to be Alpha 9. Okay. Right, let's run the brief. This shouldn't be too complicated. So let me just bring the charts back up. So basically we've got ATC control as well tonight, which is a big thing to throw in there because they're obviously going to help us. So we'll plan our descent from our top of descent point where the aircraft tells us. We'll go down in managed descent unless ATC tells us otherwise. We've got an get my teeth in. It's a ILS approach. We're expecting runway 29, Abtime 1 Whiskey, Ballard 4 Mike. We've got terrain on the initial approach, but our constraints keep us nicely clear of that. Platform altitude on the approach is going to be 3,000 feet. We've got no minimum approach speeds on any of the charts, so ATC will obviously guide us if needed. I'm going to use auto brake low for the approach, and then we are going to vacate, as I say, on Alpha 7, hopefully. As for configuring, well, by the time we get towards Whiskey 952, this is assuming I fly the full procedure. If I'm flying the full procedure, then we want to be green dot by 953, and then we can get flaps 1 out and flaps 2 and start slowing down for the glide. If we however get a shortcut, I've got the range rings on the navigation display, and I will need to be at least below 10,000 feet there, otherwise I'm going to struggle. But there we go. So what auto brake would be sensible, HD? Well, one more thing we can do to help us with that. I believe if I find the right chart, it tells us, does it not? Got 1,670 meters. Yeah, 1,670 meters. Let's see what the arrival performance says. So at the moment it's dry, runway 29. Grab that meta. Landing weight is planned to be Well, if we go conservative with that, let's see. We've got 0 fuel weight, 7.7, and we're hoping to land with around 3.5 tons. So let's go 61.5 tons for our landing weight. Right, so that's 2,234 meters. We need less than that. So would you go auto brake medium? That really is gonna... That seems almost overkill for a runway of this length, but if that's what they're asking for, fair enough. HC asks, if we are high, how will I fly it? We've got no speed restrictions, so I'm going to pop it into open descent and wind the speed up. Let's talk around the. Let's talk about the go around then as well, just to finish that brief off. If, of course, we have to do it. We've already said we're going to have about 3.5 tons of fuel, which is plenty for a go around and another attempt. The go around is straight out on runway track 10 miles to the ILS DME. We then make a right turn, come back in, and enter the hold at the VOR, climbing up to 5,000 feet. HD probing more, I love it. So what config, what specific gear, speed, brakes, etc. Alright, so if we, hang on, let's bring that chart back up, because for me I guess that would depend on where we end up being high. For example, if we're say if we're about 7,000 feet at this point here, and they're going to want us to, you know, right, let's say they give us direct whiskey 951, well then I'm going to wonder, well, hang on, are we going to make that? So it'll be open descent 250 knots, speed brakes will be pulled out, and then you'd be suggesting looking at 180 knots, flap 2 speed brakes as necessary, gear as a last resort. Depending on where, HD, if looking at this this chart here, because obviously if they gave us a direct from Ballard, I'm presuming you don't mean that we would need to resort to that far away. But if, for example, you know, when we're 8,000 feet here, and they said, right, turn left, get on, then with the help of the LS as well, just to assist us. The threat of getting high is that we can't slow down. So HT says open descent, increase speed to start with, but then talking about last resort tactics. Let's hope we don't need that. What's another threat with getting high aside from the speed? So the glide slope from the glide slope capture from above procedure. So if we need to do the glide slope from above procedure and capture that glide slope from above, we're going to pop the gear down. Flaps 2, we're going to select a VS rate of 1,500, 2,000 feet per minute, and we're going to wind the altitude up above whatever altitude we are currently at. What speed would we aim for? Depending on whereabouts we were, we don't really want to be any faster than 180 knots, do we? If we're doing the glide slope from a rudder procedure, ideally we have to be on the localizer. We have to be at least lock star for that. Otherwise we're not allowed to do it, and we need to be cleared for the localizer as well. Oh, I think I've just answered the question he was asking. Who wanted a Friday night quiz? Right, well, we've done a very thorough briefing and we're about 100 miles to go. Go around actions. We're if we need to go around, we're going to call go around. I'll set toga. Go around flaps. We'll pitch up, check the FMAs, check positive rate, raise the landing gear, and then hold that pitch until we reach the thrust reduction altitude. And then we can set the FCU 5,000 feet. Well, it'll already be set anyway, won't it? 5,000 feet set, and we're flying out on runway heading. I will tell ATC that we're going around runway 29. Yanalo Aviation, good evening. And HT says don't forget to put the autopilot in if it's not, and reduce thrust at thrust reduction. Yep. Which we've double checked on the go around page is correct. If we do need to go around, we will have enough fuel for a. We should have more than enough fuel actually for another go. We would have around 3.5 tons, I think it is, when we get there. Depending on the traffic level as well, that's something else to take into consideration. I mean, we've probably got another hour of fuel on board. Can we commit to the go around and another go? Yes. Is landing assured? I would hope so, because the weather's fine. Well, there are the potential for lights for some thunderstorms. I guess we have to wait to see when we get there. But I wouldn't say the weather would be a factor in a go around. I would imagine if we did do a go around, the only factors in play would be perhaps traffic still on the runway, or pilot error. Or could we commit to Vienna and not divert? Yes. Yeah, we can go, unless when we get there there's raging thunderstorms or something like that. But that's not in the 80s at the moment. But I can't see weather preventing us from getting in tonight. I should think so. It's not subjective. Okay, yes. Yes, we can commit to Vienna. Nolex 2411, hello on Twitch for a change. Still got an orange glow. Down in the alternate is Lima Oscar Whiskey Lima, which escapes me at the moment. Is that... oh, where's that? I don't know, but I did double check that 320s can get in there. Landing, we're going to vacate on Alpha 7. once we have vacated onto Alpha 7, hang on, bring the charts up for this, that'll help. Once we've vacated onto Alpha 7, we will contact ground. We will expect to backtrack on Mike, and we're not actually that far away from the gate, so a single engine taxi might not be viable. Depending on traffic situations, we need 3 minutes. I'd like to think we could probably get there pretty close to that. Linz, thank you, Danny. Andreas Frank says at the moment there are no thunderstorms when you look out the window. Greetings from Vienna. Andreas, that is great news. PMHD says, anything else to cover, or do you consider yourself adequately briefed? Do you know what? There is one more thing I'm going to do, and that's not so much for briefing, but it's a little bit more for situational awareness. Because of the potential to get shortcuts, I'm just going to add one more ring. Oh, wrong page. So low 29. I've got a 30-mile radius ring in there. I'm just going to pop a 15-mile one in there as well. So I want to be 5. If they give us a shortcut, that's my 5-mile. That's my 5,000 feet radius. But I would say that we're pretty happy with how we're going to fly the approach, how we're going to handle the taxi, how we're going to handle the go around if we need to do it. Funnily enough, as I look now, it seems ATC has disappeared, so that's sad. Never mind. Ahead of us, but he's 20 miles out. That's okay, because of the range rings I got that set to. He looked quite close, but he's not. JLG, I'm around 206 miles. So our total descent is in around 90 miles now. I think we could chill for a few minutes. Don't know where that is down there, but that looks impressive.
Ladies and gentlemen, take full advantage of your tax-free allowances today and make some amazing savings with our boutique range. In your in-flight brochure, you'll find details of our award-winning selection of gifts, most with massive discounts, some of which are exclusive to you as an Easyjet customer. Make the most of your opportunity to shop and save from the comfort of your seat. If you'd like to see any products, have any questions, or would like to make great savings, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
As the nights start drawing in, I know I shouldn't say that if we're still in the middle of summer here in the UK, but as the nights do start drawing in as we head towards winter, it may be the time of year where we start perhaps cheating with the lighting and flying on real weather, but not in real time. Otherwise, they're all going to be nighttime flights, aren't they? And Microsoft Flight Simulator is too good for that. We want to be able to see those graphics. Right, what's our estimated time of arrival? 21:21. Fair enough. James, will I try the new Easyjet for Microsoft Flight Simulator? I'll be honest, James, probably not. So traffic just popped up then on the navigation display. He's 10,000 feet beneath me. He's probably just departed from somewhere. Although fair enough. I say he's just departed from somewhere. I don't mean at an airport that's 26,000 feet above sea level, but yeah, he'd only just come in on the radar. So 50 minutes into the flight, I think we should be there in about 30 minutes in total. But if there is no ATC, we'll perhaps manage that descent ourselves and get down. Jonathan, are we flying directly over Lima India November Zulu? We are indeed, and there it is. You can just see it now as you said that. Probably will start descending over there as well, to be fair. Here it comes, about 10 miles. Matali says Microsoft Flight Simulator is graphically okay-ish. Really? Not quite sure how to answer that. There's lots of things missing, like chimney smoke. You hope it will be better in the next one. Natalia, did you play Microsoft Flight Simulator 95? Anthony Carter HD doesn't need to answer that. Anonymity is key. Danny says, what's that explain then if Microsoft Flight Sim's okay-ish?
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck once again, you will be delighted to hear that we will shortly be starting our descent into our destination, at which point the cabin crew will start preparing for our arrival. If you could please make sure that all the aisles are clear and the cabin crew are able to make their way around the aircraft without any luggage in the aisles, that would be most appreciated. A reminder for our Easyjet pilot members that free drinks are still available from the cabin crew until the seatbelt signs are turned on. Please note, however, that the toilets will shortly go out of use. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to head down now to flight level 100. We'll pop that into manage descent as well. So we've got thrust idle descent 100 blue. Danny, that name gets you every time, yes. Well, all quiet on the ATC front. I will tell you, you don't know how to explain what you're missing. You think things like traffic jams, for example. So if you're flying around London on the M25, you want to see a mass build-up of cars. Danny asks, am I going to do the old transition without ATC? Do you know what? If I can sneak us in, probably not. So at the moment we are inbound to Niggsy, and just remember we're now clear of the Alps. There, well and truly behind us, and the moor at that point is around 8,700 feet. So getting down to 10,000 feet is from here on in not an issue. For those of you that use SimSmart when flying with the A320 Neo, this is SimSmart version 2, which is now in testing. The main thing with SimSmart version 2 is that the loading times of everything is much quicker. It also focuses on calculating the maximum takeoff weight prior to anything else, which was good because it was coming up with a few bugs the way it was doing it. It would still give you V-speeds if you were entering a takeoff weight above the maximum takeoff weight, which is obviously no good. Now it wouldn't do that, but the speed is the main thing. Your calculations are done in a fraction of a second. So it shouldn't be too long before we get that rolled out. Someone asked me earlier in the chat if I've been watching Wimbledon. No, I don't mind watching tennis, to be honest. If it's a match I'm particularly interested in. Do you know what I can't stand though? I usually I listen to the radio a lot, and the one thing I can't stand is the commentary of tennis on the radio. How does that even work? I've listened to it and it's just my head wants to explode. It happens that fast that you just can't describe what is happening adequately on the radio. HD says it's full of wombles. Common ones at that. Shooting stars and satellites would be kind of nice, I must admit. Random streaks across the sky. Danny says you like to watch the Tour de France, but you don't know. You don't know what it is, but you like it. What? I know what it is, but I don't know how it works. I mean, fair play to the guys that commentate on Wimbledon tennis on the radio. They talk faster than the guys that have to put the product disclaimers on the adverts at the end of drug adverts. But I just think, oh my god, if I want to follow the tennis that badly, I will watch it. We all have a phone in our pocket nowadays. We can tune into the BBC. Oh, Danny, you mean you don't know why you like it? Well, I did think it was a bit of a strange statement. Just simply misread the context there. Anthony says your office is closer to the runway than the tower is. Nice. The Pack Andrew, good evening to you. Welcome on board. You've just come at the exciting point. One final check. Winds 300 at... Oh, wind shear, runway 29. Right, well... Okay, let's brief the wind shear actions. That is toga, wings level. Do not change configuration. There's a memory item which I'm sure I've just failed. $314. $25,1012. Wind shear toga and keep the autopilot in if it is. If you're on finals, would you... Well, there's a great question. So, if you are on finals, you're 200 feet from touchdown, you then call wind shear toga. You obviously put toga on. Autopilot would presumably not be on at that point. But if you're doing an auto landing at wind shear then and you went toga, what happens if you're 200 feet up, you go toga and you're performing an auto land? And you've not gotten aircraft with nav equipped on the go around. And full backstick if it's needed, follow SRS as best you can. Fair enough. Right, I'm going to take this out of managed descent. I'm not going to be flying the full procedure, so let's put this into open descent. And let's see if we can get ourselves down, shall we? A little bit sooner. Is wind shear conditions prevalent in auto land conditions? Well, so I guess if you've got strong wind changes, the chances of visibility being really low, unless it's raining? Or if when she's reported, is auto land not allowed? Can't say as I know the answer to that question. You wouldn't auto land in rain, wouldn't you? Really? I must have missed that bit. Oh, you mean you wouldn't plan to auto land just because it's raining? No, of course not. The visibility, and or if your cloud base was something like 100 feet, that makes a bit more sense. Let's run the approach checklist. So arrival briefing is confirmed. Seatbelt signs are on. Minimums are 800 feet set. Engine mode selector is normal. EFB is stowed. Okay, let's get ourselves down to our to 3,000 feet. And we'll set local QNH 1012. And you can see now what I'm planning here. EFB is disconnected. It was disconnected on departure and it's not been plugged back in for the entire flight. So we get our lights on, passing through 10,000 feet. Speed's 250 knots. Let's activate that approach phase. Get the landing system turned on. Oscar Echo X-ray ILS is identified. And with no ATC, then I'm going to clear out 5.3 and 5.4 just to cut that leg a little bit. There we go.
In traffic, Silver 777 ready for push and start, Charlie 3. You know? Thank you.
Well, there doesn't look to be anything wrong with the weather here, does there? So, that's good. In fact, there's our airport. Let's start slowing ourselves down then. So, start to level off. Thrust idle, open descent.
Cabin crew, if you could prepare the cabin for landing, we should be arriving shortly.
No ATC comms, so I think we should potentially have the airport to ourselves, which is quite nice. That looks like a massive area of wind farms.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly be landing. Please ensure your cabin bag is safely stowed with your laptop inside. Your tray table must be stowed, armrests down, and window blind open. You now need to be seated with your seatbelt fastened, ready for landing. Please help us by handing in any rubbish, newspapers, or magazines that you do not want to take with you. The toilets are no longer in service.
Hope no one needs the toilet. So we're about 14 miles out at the moment. We'll begin configuring once we get past 956. Slowing ourselves down. Here comes the glide slope. Just get nicely beneath that because we still do need to slow down, but we can probably shut off the rate of descent a little bit now. Vienna traffic Alpine 34 Alpha Mike is turning finals now, runway 29 at 16 miles. I can see the I can see the windmills actually turning around. That's insane. So Outcloud Slope, Lock Blue, Cat 3 Dual, Autopilot 1 and 2. Flaps 1, speeds checked, Flaps 1.
Vienna traffic, Canada Air 3042, taxi runway 29.
Runway's in sight, lock star. Vienna traffic, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike, established runway 2912 miles.
Cabin crew, please take your seats for landing.
Glide slope's alive. .310 at 10 knots with wind shear. That is a 180-degree turn looking at this, almost. So that could be interesting. Flaps 2, speed check. Full speed, flaps 2. Glide slope start. Missed approach altitude 5,000 feet is set.
Eurowings 5 November Echo, Vienna traffic turning base, runway 29, about 1-2 miles out.
Vienna traffic, Alpine 34 Alpha Mike is established 7 miles out, runway 29. Quick recap for the go-around. We call the go-around at toga, go-around flaps, pitch up, FMAs, positive rate, landing gear, and reduce unset thrust climb at around 1,600 feet when it flashes.
Traffic, Eva 772 taxiing, holding point 29 via Mike.
Gear down, spoils armed, flaps 3.
Vienna traffic, Canada Air 3042, holding short on Alpha 1, traffic on final. Runway 29.
And flaps full. Landing checklist. Cabin secured, auto thrust speed, go around altitude 5,000 set. Eco memo landing no blue. Watch that wind.
Traffic Gulf, Vienna 8 Delta, holding point runway 29 now via Blue Line 10 miles.
Autopilot's disconnected, I have control. Headwind for the moment, expect that to continue coming around from to the right. drifted slightly off the centre line.
500.
Stable. Just keep forcing that down.
100 above. Minimum.
Continue.
Light slow. Light slow.
40, 30, 20. Retard.
In traffic, Euro 5 November Echo 9 miles south for an 829.
Vienna traffic, Canada Air
Suppose the
3042
flight
line
reverse
up,
green.
runway 29.
70 knots, reverses off. Vacate first right.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties. However, we ask that you remain seated until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off. Portable electronic devices for messaging, calls or internet access may now be used. Please make sure that you take all your personal belongings with you, checking in the seat pocket, underneath the seat and in the overhead lockers. Do take care when opening the lockers in case anything falls out. Smoking is not permitted until you reach a designated smoking area. On behalf of the captain and the crew, it has been our
Vienna
pleasure
traffic
looking
runway
after you
29
today.
vacated.
Our ground crew will
Thank
help
you.
complete your easy
Vienna traffic, Canada Air 3042 takeoff, runway 29.
flight and destination information. Check out our official Facebook page, Twitter, or Easyjet app.
Right, let's find somewhere to park. Welcome to Vienna, everybody.
November Echo, Vienna traffic 3 miles on.
Weather wasn't as bad as we... not as bad as it could have been.
Vienna traffic, Canada Air 3042 airborne, runway 29 past 2000.
That's typical, isn't it?
Vienna traffic, Canada Air 3042 runway 29 is clear.
The Easyjet on a remote stand. Good night, do speak to you soon. Well, we're going to go ahead and find a nice stand with a gate, I think. A couple of aircraft on final now, as we can see. Have we not turned the strobes off? I thought we had. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Clearly not. The key binding for these doesn't work the same way as it does for the fly-by-wire. I need to see if we can get that sorted, because trying to flick those on and off while vacating the runway is not easy.
Clear traffic, runway 68 Yankee X-ray on final runway 29.
Good night, Tom. Always a pleasure to see you. Good luck with the exams.
Eurowings 5 November Echo, runway 29 vacated, Vienna traffic.
Parking brake. set. APU is running. Engine 1, 2 shut down. APU bleed off. Sorry, on. Seatbelt signs off. Beacon light below 10% is off. Fuel pumps. Transponder squawk 2000 and standby. Danny, it really is very good scenery here, yes. Right, and they can deboard. A couple of aircraft coming in at the end there, wasn't there, which was nice. Shame we didn't get any ATC, but never mind. Welcome to Vienna, everybody. Hope we're set for a nice night in Austria. It really is another one of those top sceneries, this one. That control tower is stunning, isn't it? Lots of detail around the airport as well. Obviously can't see as it's night time, but yeah, join me again on the next flight. Or perhaps have a look in a little bit more detail during the daytime. I think the jetway is going to need to get a little bit closer than that for the passengers. Shall we? We'll give them a helping hand. 1 second. Let's go to background services. Screw the jetway. Let's get the let's get the stairs out, shall we? There we go. Much better. We'll connect the ground power up as well. That's available. Wonderful. Right, guys. It is most certainly B&B time. Thank you so much to those of you who have donated and contributed to the channel's upkeep this evening. To our Easyjet Sympathetic channel members, as always, thank you for your continued support of the channel. Look forward to chatting with you all on the Discord server. Make sure you join the Discord server as well if you haven't done already. Always good fun and a great community. I look forward to seeing you on our next Rail Ops flight. No, not quite sure when that will be, but obviously stay tuned and make sure if you haven't done so already on the way out, you hit that like button and turn on the notifications bell so you don't miss any future content. Good night, everyone. Have a great rest of your evening. Bye-bye.